Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again. This is going to be the round 3 game of Vicious and Delicious up against Torch. Torch on the right-hand side of your screen. On your left-hand side of the screen, Vicious and Delicious on the right.
Oh, Hindu man. So
I'm
Torch
sorry.
is
It's early. It's too early.
it's okay. I accept you as you are. Torch is gonna ban out Frey and Vicious and Delicious removing Circuit. So standard picks just sort of getting removed. Probably see the Vulcan ban sometime soon. Vicious and Delicious has a lot of powerful players at their disposal. This is Sasic, Wubba, Jeff Henla, Ionic, and Snoopy. Now the question is, who's playing support? Probably Jeff Henla, because it's really the only role he can play. And where's Ionic gonna go? And who's Jungle?
That's very interesting. Will it be Jeff or will it be Yannick supporting? Ooh.
I'm gonna check their past matches.
Double support. They'll run support jungle.
Alright, do you want me to check their past matches? Or should we just go in blind?
I'm going to go Ionic's going to play support. And Jeff's going to play jungle. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay. Alright.
Let's go with that. First pick coming out straight away is going to be over to Torch. And they're going to pick up Ao Kwong, which we don't have a picture of. Why don't we have a picture of him?
It's very hard to photograph a dragon because they don't like it. They're not very photogenic, and so far they've just killed all of our photographers.
There you go. That's exactly how Ao Kwong is. But now Vicious and Delicious hovering over Vulcan, which was also left available. Thor is also available right now, but with the jungle being locked in by Ao Kwong, Ao Kwong for Torch, Vicious and Delicious have the choice, but they're hovering Nemesis right now.
Yeah, hovering onto Nemesis will lock that in. So Vulcan Nemesis, very strong second picks, and the question is, are we going to see Snoopy play his Vulcan? Because Snoopy's Vulcan is really good. Apollo hovered on by Torch, and that's a little bit more standard of a hunter. And Yanis is great too. We just saw some great Yanis play come out from Gnaw. Wasn't enough, but still was pretty good.
Lots of mobility, lots of burst damage, and escapability as well is the big key factor to how good Giannis really can be. And the transitions with the through space and time to allow his teammates to come through the portals with him and gank people. I mean, they held on really well thanks to the help of Nora and that Giannis. But over to Vicious and Delicious now. It's Jeff Hindler's pick. Will he pick a support role for himself, or will he be looking elsewhere? That's the question.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting. Okay, so Athena hovered on, and that's also interesting to see Athena be sort of the next support. Definitely is one of the higher priorities there with Geb and Sylvanas banned away. But there's still Odin, and I guess he just prefers the Athena for that global presence. There's no great synergy, which is my biggest complaint with this Athena, right? I guess, like, Nemesis Athena is okay, but it's not the best.
I mean, Ymir's on the table as well. They've just banned away Bacchus of Vicious and Delicious here, which the thing is, I don't think NA really plays Ymir that much. EU, loves the god to bits, but nobody seems to care about Ymir. It's kind of the same thing with Anher. It feels like that duo lane, if we took that from EU to NA would be like, what's this? This doesn't make sense. Anher, Ymir? Yeah, you don't see it.
It's so old school, too. It's one of the original kill lanes. Incredibly powerful, because you've just got so many walls.
Well, Zhonghui gets banned away by Torch. They don't want to give that one over to Vicious and Delicious as well as Nemesis. And now Raw is actually going to be picked up by them as well, so the safe lane solo is going to be available to them. Torch Gaming for their last 2 picks right now. They have Ao Kwong, which will probably be in the jungle, meaning they need a solo and a support god online. Odin, like you said, is available, and against Ra and Vulcan is not the worst pick in the world.
Honestly, going Athena, banning Bacchus, and picking Ra sounds like they're baiting Odin to me. Because it's just like, here, we're going to pick a support that's not the best against Odin, and then we're going to ban out a support that isn't Odin, and then we're going to pick a healer that Odin counters. Pick Odin.
Well,
that's what they're saying.
For a few seconds, and they switched over to Vermana, so pretty much a farm lane in the solo, but Kumbhakana going to be picked up. Everyone seems to be forgetting that sleepy giant.
He has a lot going for him. He's got great disengage. I don't want to say really peel, but when your entire team is just like, let's leave, Kumbhakarna's amazing for that. And he's got great single target burst as well. The throwback in combination with his epic uppercut does about 900 damage. Hercules is going to be locked in, so we'll probably be seeing a Raw mid with a Herc solo.
Looks like it will be a Ra mid with a Herc solo, with Vulcan AD carry played by Snoopy in this one. So back to traditional standpoints for them. They've got good physical with Nemesis and Hercules there anyway, so it's not too bad with the Vulcan. That's a big clear thing you've got to make out of that one. But Kumbhakana, I'm glad to see him actually being picked up again, in all honesty. He's underrated. He's probably got the second best wave clear out of all the Guardians after Sylvanas.
Sure.
And he's got one of the best setup ultimates in the game from the Guardian.
Third best. Hades is technically a Guardian, and his wave clear is bonkers. Let's be honest.
Do you have to?
His wave clear is so good! And he's really good against Bacchus.
But is he really a Guardian? Is he really a Guardian?
Yes,
that's what I'm going to say.
Shroud of Darkness. Yes, I'm going to go with yes.
We'll be right back, guys, with Torch versus Vicious and Delicious on your screens. Once these guys have loaded into the matchups, you guys can discuss and chat whether Hades is a Guardian or not, but would you want him on your side? That's the question. We'll be right back.
No.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to round 3. It's underway on your screens right now. Left-hand side is Torch Gaming. Right-hand side, starting at the top, will be Vicious and Delicious. As you can see, all these players getting themselves ready for this one. Runeforge Hammer already picked up by Vamana. He's going to go for the physical protection early on.
Yeah, so on the right-hand side, Vicious and Delicious is basically some cognitive players and some friends. Sasik and Wubba are pretty cool people, and they've known the COG guys for a long time. And Wubba actually joined Thirst in the last few days of the season. Is, I believe, technically locked their roster through Worlds, but he's a really good player. He's high diamond, maybe Masters.
Jeff gets a nice early ward down, and the ward popped down there by default in the jungle means they're going to spot those guys out. There's going to be no early invade coming out from early. Either team here, Nemesis in a safe position, just to make sure that they don't get invaded on early. And it is going to be Eonic in the jungle. I was wrong. I was expecting Jeff the God to be the Canadian God, as I like to call him, in the jungle. But nope, he's going to be in the support role. You were correct. Damn you. Curse you.
I win.
NA knowledge.
Dude, America's the best. I wake up every morning.
He's Canadian.
Yeah, but Canada is one of those regions like Puerto Rico.
I heard it's the top hat of America. Is that true?
It is, but it's also it's like technically owned by America, like Puerto Rico, but it's not a state.
It's like Scotland's the top hat for England, apart from it's not a top hat that we want to wear. It just exists, you know?
Well, it's also a top hat that almost left. But
it tried to flow off in the windy, the windy times of the year, but we kept it around. We stuck it on. It's like a toupee. Let's call it a toupee. It sounds even better to call it a toupee. We're currently in a pause, guys. As you can see on the screens, it's one glance has paused this game. Guessing there's a few technical difficulties that we should be getting through soon. How do you think these lanes are going to play out, though, Craig? Honestly, we're going to see Hercules up against Vamana in the solo lane. How's that match up?
Well, Hercules going for a more aggressive build. He's got Death Toll, so he's going to be looking to get an early advantage in Snowball lane. With Nemesis and a good Earthbreaker, it's a possibility, but Vamana's still very hard to kill. They need to somehow interrupt his clear the path and then kill him in the ultimate, which is going to be hard to do, but is possible. In the mid lane, Ra versus Yanis, give that to Ra early unless Yanis can really use those rotations.
And then over in the duel, and you'll see Apollo and Kumbhakana up against Athena and Vulcan. Now that lane matchup, it's not one you're going to see. You're going to see it a little bit more often because more and more people are going to start adopting this Snoopy Vulcan strategy, I feel, in the casual games. But you should see Apollo and Kumbhakana do okay in this lane. They should technically have decent enough wave clear to deal with the Vulcan push.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Vulcan does have some great push. He's got really good poke. But, game is starting up in about 5 seconds. Ao Kwang jungling on the right-hand side, played by Headshot, and it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. Oh, actually, Sasik going for an invade, not going to be able to get either of those, though. Just waited too long, and
he tried to make a play for himself. It didn't work out for him, though, so pretty much standard. He's not going to miss anything. Still going to get the experience thanks to Eonic and that speed buff. He was already doing that. Blue buff going to be taken down as well, so everyone relatively going to be in lanes at expected times as usual.
Yeah, it was just a little weird that he didn't even manage to force a hand of the gods, right? Like, he just didn't go into the camp early enough. Very, very strange there, but This lane should go in favor of Vicious and Delicious in the sort of solo duo phase, just they have more push potential and a little bit more kill potential. If Alquan gets onto someone, he can do some pretty good damage, but actually a headshot going for his 2 and his 3 isn't going to have any mobility just yet.
Oh, Yana going to rotate to the mid lane as well, but already Giannis in a very safe position to realise that was going on. Nice little poke coming out from Kumbhakana with the throwback onto Snoopy, trying to put the pressure on early. They did do a nice little bait in that lane as well, Cret, where they went into the jungle looking like they were going to go to the red buff, put a ward down and hope for a rotation, but nobody showed their face.
Yeah, well, now in the middle lane, Headshot is showed up. He's just going to help clear, and he's got some pretty decent damage here. When he heads over to that red buff, which should be fairly soon, they're going to be able to carve through it. Handle Like Gods will not be up. It will be up for speed, but it's really just about the Dragon Call.
Yeah, Dragon Call does so much damage as well, especially in the early stages as well. One of the most difficult things about Elkwang is closing that gap, but if you do manage to close it, does he make people die quickly and then use that ultimate pretty much as an escape mechanism as well as an execute with the King of the Eastern Seas. I will not be using that. I'm just going to call that Dragon Form. There's no way they named an ability King of the Eastern Seas and expected casters to cast that every single time it was used.
We say Lord of the Afterlife sometimes, though.
On the odd occasion.
Well,
on the odd occasion.
On the odd occasion. But a big speed invade coming out from Vicious and Delicious, and this is going to be hard to contest. Alquang is here. He has a lot of damage, but he essentially is no... Well, he has some ability, but not too much. It is going to be stolen away. Ionic, level 5, has that Divine Judgment, and so he's going to be looking for a potential kill. But one of the problems with Nemesis, she doesn't really bring a hard CC to her ganks.
Ult does connect. Athena does not find the taunt, though. Jeff mistimed that one, and otherwise they would have been able to find the kill. But Meatball actually forced them into an awkward position for that taunt, but that early invade gives a small advantage to Vicious and Delicious early on in this one.
Well, now in the middle lane, just sort of threatening the Giannis a little bit, and Giannis has some trouble clearing early on, especially against a Raw with the heal, and so Webba's going to have some nice control. Mid-camps coming up in about 15 seconds. Headshot will be here. He's going directly onto Ionic. The Retribution Shield not turning around enough damage. It's not a kill, but man, that was close.
It was a lot of burst damage, especially with the mid-camps coming up as well now, correct? Because they're up in about 10 seconds time here. Ionic needs to get some heals off. Wubba in this mid lane, actually already doing that thanks to the Solar Blessing. Jeff Hindler hanging around. We could see a big fight here. Yorn comes out from Kumbhakana, still only level 4 though, and that Vulcan ultimate is going to hit onto Defoe. And now he's going to turn around with the Groggy Strike, but it looks like we're going to see Torch Gaming give up that camp.
It's important to remember that Alquang can execute at 23%, and so he's going to be able to basically kill anybody. The problem is, can he get damage off? Ionic, full health thanks to the raw healing, and it's both mid-camps going to Vicious and Delicious. They've got a great start. They've got a double mid-camp on the first rotation. Now they just need to get some kills, get first blood going, and they could very well win this game.
I mean, Torch overall, they just gave up those mid-camps. The left ones made sense. They forced out some ultimates and got out of trouble, all survived. But the right ones came up, and they just let them go. They had an opportunity to try and contest those, chose against it. But Headshot on the right-hand side here, looking for this Hercules. Just going to rotate here in the end and actually soak up some experience from Vermana, who's looking to base relatively soon, and that's why he's rotated over there. Mid-camp's now down. Blue buff's due to spawn soon on the solo side. So we'll see what happens next.
I mean, the thing about Alquang is he's like a little more extreme Freya, right? You've got great damage, but no CC at all. So, unless he uses his ultimate in melee range, not going for the execute. So when you go into a gank, it's like you need someone else to set up for you. Vamana can't really do that. So it's going to be either the duo lane or the mid lane that's going to really be a decent gank. Headshot, just trying to hold solo for now.
Just holding it until Vermana gets back. He'll rotate to the jungle and pick up the blue buff. Meanwhile, on the backside, Ionic doing the same thing, starting the blue buff up for Hercules, who's going to rotate over there for that one. Much passivity for the time being. I mean, talking about Elkon, we've not seen him that much in competitive play. Correct? He's recently been, allowed to be used in these sort of games, and as you can see with him, he has a lot of burst damage, but he's an all-in god. That's the best way of putting it. You have to commit fully to the engagement to try and find the kill. If you find the kill, you usually use the ultimate to escape and to finish off the execute. But if you don't find it, you're gonna die. Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, if you CC Alquang, he can have a lot of trouble no matter how fed he is. Gold Fury has been warded by Torch. They just don't want their opponent sneaking that one away, but, well, honestly, Vicious and Delicious has some pretty good early Gold Fury action. They've got a raw heal, and they've got a Vulcan turret, and Vulcan's turret is honestly very underestimated just how much sustained damage he can put out.
Well, at the moment, he's max backfire in this lane as Snoopy on this Vulcan, and now he's working on Magma Bomb, only 1 point into the turret at the moment for himself. Mid camp's up on the left-hand side. In about 30 seconds' time, you can already see the pings coming out from both teams there about that camp, and wards being placed down by Cumber Corner one more time around that area. Oh, the Go Fury wards. I love that fight.
Yeah, it's always an interesting little match, and
Kumba
Defoe
wins.
seems to have gotten away from it. Yeah, Kumba just winning that time. Athena used to be the best at it when wards died in one hit, because her reach counted as an auto attack. Went through the opponents. Oh man, it was disgusting.
It's quite frustrating. Now they're going to get invaded on the speed buff one more time, though. Immediately, though, Defoe clicks over the wall, trying to do some work, gets the epic uppercut cut off. The through space and time comes out as well, but Defoe's being focused here. He will have his passive available, going to yawn out, still survive. Vulcan does not connect with anyone. It looks like Cumber will be first blood, but on the backside, we did see the dragon come out. I did lie, the dragon form did connect and execute one. There's Apollo coming in, looking for the try and trade back. Is Onyx going to fall down? Now Jeff's in trouble as well, but the backfire, the turret goes down, and this is a bad fight for Vicious and Delicious.
Yeah, it's going to be a kill on a Jeff Hindler with the help of the Dragons. Mighty Sword will get that kill, and now Snoopy in trouble. Great escape from Headshot. Snoopy dueling up against Andra, which is exactly what you don't want to have happen with Vulcan, but here comes Hercules to maybe help. Oh, Vulture finds himself in a bad position. Great backfire. Snoopy will die. And looks like Sasset can't quite get the kill. The boulder just barely didn't bounce.
It did bounce and did connect, but he needed one auto to bring him down. Now Sasset's going to get hit by the Groggy Strike, with Vermana still being here as well. He's still a tanky Hercules to try and bring down, especially with Runeforged Hammer online, so they do leave him alive. But it's a 4-for-2 trade on that speed buff. But if you look at the experience in gold right now, Cret, it's still in favour of Vicious and Delicious, especially now those mid-harpies go down too.
Yeah, I mean, even when they go 4-for-2, they're somehow coming out ahead. There was some great play from Alquan on that left-hand side, and that's an interesting... So he went into his dragon form, right? But he didn't get a kill.
I was confused at how that happened.
I think the execute grabbed, and then One Glance stole it out of Alquang's mouth with his So Beautiful. I think that's what happened.
What a thief.
Hey, that's when you're the team captain, you get to steal as many kills as you want until people
Talking about
leave.
stealing, you can see Jeff Hindler going in deep, trying to get some damage on to that Apollo with the taunt, but immediately mezzed out, and with Headshot rotating over here, that's a disengage for now. Gold Fury still stands, and wall placement still going on. The fight continues around the Gold Fury in terms of wall coverage at the moment. That is in control for Touch Gaming. They've done a good job of keeping themselves in this. They've not given themselves much to really be concerned with. They've got good damage off, they've had good rotations, and even though they've given up both mid camps each time, Crat, they've still got a chance in this.
Well, on the left-hand side, One Glance holding his lane. Vulcan is pressuring, but, you know, Snoopy's actually at a level disadvantage as One Glance did pick up 4 kills.
4.
I don't think we've seen a Hunter get this fed against an ADC Vulcan in a tournament, and it's going to be interesting to see how Snoopy deals with it.
Well, especially now that he's got Devour's Cross on. Good top from Jeff Hindler. Hits 2. Nice damage coming out. Backs of the sniper as well. Through space and time gets channeled by Vulture. He's going to escape death, but now Cumber gets into a world of trouble. Actually uses the epic uppercut to try and give himself some escape route, but he's probably going to go down in trade here. No, nice use of the throwback there to live. No, but Celestial Beam ends that.
Yeah, great
Apollo,
Celestial Beam there. Apollo's in the area, but there's too many members of Vicious Delicious. He's going to come down, but he's out of mana. He doesn't have a way out. The Vulcan ult not going to connect with the Apollo. Will find the mana. Slice and Dice will get that kill. And now it's up to Snoopy. Finds the backfire. Doesn't find the kill. On the right-hand side, Ionic trying to get the way out. But looks like Giannis has used all of his damage.
Oh, Giannis was so unfortunate that he used the Unstable Vortex. The last back of it was going to connect with Ionic and kill him, but he put the portal down. The portal saved Ionic's life because he missed the Unstable Vortex and he didn't have the rest of the damage to bring him down. Left-hand side, though, Snoopy invaded on the blue buff. Headshot can only stand there and watch as the blue buff goes down and actually giving it over to Athena. There's nothing happier than a support player getting a blue buff.
Yeah, unfortunately for One Glance there, he made... honestly, a fairly common mistake with Apollo. You're like, yeah, I'm fed, I'm gonna ult over, I'm gonna win the team fight, and then it's 10 minutes in and you don't really have a good mana pool, so you just run out of mana and you don't have a dash, and it's awful. Everything is awful.
I hate when that happens too. That's why I don't play Apollo, because I'm a baddie. That's generally the rule of it. But one guy's going to try and invade and steal away the blue. Not going to find it though. A little bit too late to the party. Going to eat a meatball on the backfire to the mouth. But then back off to lane once again. No blue buff for him. Snoopy doing fine. Left hand mid harpies are available. Wubber already rotating for them straight away. With the help of Ionic and Jeff Hindler in tow. They're in a good position for this left hand harpies. They've also just sentryed the Gold Fury as well. As you can see, Wubber clearing that one out. And so it looks like Vicious and Delicious turn their attention to that now.
Vulture in the middle lane will find a nice shotgun hit onto Yannick. Ao Kwang picking up the right harpies and now heading over to red. Hindu, have you had to cast a game with a Sacred Dragon Kukulkan and an Ao Kwang yet?
No, I have not, but now look at this. Ionic's going to go aggressive, force the ultimate out through space and time onto Vulture. Kumbhakarna comes in once again with the epic uppercut to try and save his life. Takes a bit of poke damage. He's going to watch his position here. Jeff Hindler's actually channeling his ult on the backside there, taking a lot of poke damage from Headshot, using that Dragon Call as Apollo rotates in a little bit late to the party. The disengage has already happened. It was a big fight over absolutely nothing. Camp had already gone.
Apollo actually ulting, there's a big loss for Torch as Snoopy's just gonna push the lane, get some free farm, and it's the kind of thing that allows Snoopy to catch up, and now he's looking pretty good in comparison to this Apollo. He is corner camping.
Around the corner, and now he's going to actually find him a little bit too late, only fire back. That's a shame. I was hoping for a big wombo there, and Snoopy's like, no. But quick pause coming out from Snoopy here, so it's going to quickly deal with them. So what were you saying about Kukulkan and Ao Kwang? Have I seen them in game together yet?
Right, Sacred Dragon Kukulkan, the one that's the old Ao Kwang skin. And Ao Kwang, have you casted a game with the two of them?
I have not seen
that. Sounds really hard. I don't know, because it's Sacred Dragon Kukulkan. It's Ao Kwang. And then you've got Ao Kwang. And you just... It would be rough, dude.
There's someone with the mathematical genius of this game, Cret. You get confused by very simple things.
You know I can't actually do any math past Trig, right?
Yeah, but Trig's kind of easy.
Yeah, I know. That's,
what about
I can't
Pythagoras?
do any real math.
Can you do Pythagoras?
Like, Nanton, former SPL player, former Thirst, is like a theoretical math major, and he's just like, you don't know any math, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't. It's all philosophy.
It's because you look like Professor Xavier, that's what it is. Everyone seems to think because you look like him, you actually have something. But
I'm actually, you know that thing in anime where like the glasses turn white and they like shine? I'm trying to figure out how to do that in real life.
That'd be kind of cool.
I think I can.
In this game right now, we've got a quick pause as you can see on the screen, guys, but the experience lead is 3,500 in favor of Vicious and Delicious. Goal lead of 1,600. Gold Fury still online, not been taken down by either team, but this lead has pretty much developed from these mid harpies being taken over and over again, and a couple of speed invades that have gone in Vicious and Delicious's favor. Checking with the builds right now, you can see Hercules with the Runeforged Hammer, up against Runeforged Hammer Vermana. That lane's been relatively stale, as to be expected in that. Raw in mid lane, 1-1-1. Finished off Shoes of Focus here, looks like he's working on Warlock Sash next. So a bit of cooldown in that across the way. Giannis has the Shoes of the Medjay online, so gone for a more penetrative build. But talking about mid lane right now, Star 6 might find him.
Yeah, going to dash doesn't find the Earthbreaker portal out. You know, I do want to mention, you're right, the solo lane has been stale, but Sasic has amassed something like a 600 gold lead, and great farming, I guess. He just sort of pulled that lead out of nowhere, and that's really cool to see. Great play coming out from Sasic.
Even with the rotations as well. Right now in the mid lane though, Nemesis is going to rotate around just to pick up some experience in the middle lane. There's something to do. Oh, left hand side though with Headshot going in. Is he going to be able to find some damage? He gets the slow off. He's looking for the Dragon Call. Nice bit of poke, but the meatball comes out and it's going to force him away. Headshot eats a lot of poke from the tower. That backfire did so much work.
Look at Ra.
That's going to be the end of it, but here
Look
we
at
go.
Ra.
Wubber.
Ooh, out of range.
Fine with Snipe, and Headshot going to keep bravely running away. One glance is the back marker for his team now as Giannis, considering rotating, actually going to wait around. Maybe he can find Wubber on the way back. Nope. Actually just going to clear out using a sentry wall. This is good vision control coming out from Torch, honestly. They're trying to keep that under control, but another sentry comes down from the side of Vicious and Delicious, and now they're going to start the Gold Fury based off that fight.
Yeah, I mean, two players had to recall. This Gold Fury is essentially free. Apollo, if he wants to contest, has to ult in, but the rotation from the solo laner from Sasic is just too good. Now Yanis is going to be caught out. His portal has been used, and he is dead to rights. Sasic finds the kill, just to give him a little bit of gold to make up for the fact that he did lose his tower for that rotation. Completely worth it. Vicious and Delicious. It's only 5-4, but with 4,000 gold and 3,000 gold and 5,000 experience, they're looking really good at the 13-minute mark. Left side though.
Left hand side, you can see once again that Kwang's trying to deal with the Vulcan presence, but with Jeff Hindler using the ultimate in there to actually give some extra defense off. There's nothing he can do. Meanwhile, in mid lane, Kubakana, Vamana, and Apollo are grouping up. Can they find someone?
Well, they're going to go onto Ra, but Vamana just a little bit too slow right now. He doesn't really have any aggressive options with the way he's building, and Jeff's going to show up, finds a top. Vamana using beats and the weakening curse just to kind of back out. Defoe trying to screen for his team, but honestly, it's just sort of tanks beating on tanks. Great shield from Ionic. Yanisol coming through, chunking down the Nemesis player. That's going to be the disengage, but likely just the end of the fight.
It's a fight over nothing. Nothing actually comes out of it, and in doing that, Vicious and Delicious now get the left-hand Harpies as well. Right one still standing. We will see Torch go over for them, though. They should be able to get these before Static can do anything about this, and they're going to go in that favour. But these fights, they just feel a little bit late, more than anything, coming out from Torch.
Yeah.
They're trying to fight, but they're after the big objectives have already happened.
And I feel like Vicious and Delicious is just down to fight whenever. Like, alright, you want to go? Let's go. And then someone gets low and they disengage. And there have been some really good disengages coming out from Vicious and Delicious. Now, if we do recall, there was that 4-2 fight on the first speed buff. No one from Vicious and Delicious has died since then. So I feel like this sort of 4-5 score is a little misleading.
It does seem a little bit misleading. I mean, they've given up a lot of objectives. I guess they're waiting for the later stages of the game. Maybe they're hoping for Aokwang in the later stages, along with Vamana and Giannis's damage, will be the factor that gets them back into this one. You know, giving up this early lead.
Well, red buff is going to go the way of Torch, headshot, recalling, and we haven't really seen too much gank out of this Aokwang. I think he was really just waiting for the team fights. But here's the question. Who's his target going into these team fights, and how does he get to them?
It's gotta be
how did he get to him?
Presses 1?
Yeah, but I mean with backfire and the magma bomb, I feel like Vulcan is gonna...
Very difficult situation to be in. Headshot's actually going to have to rely on his team more than anything, and especially on this Kumbhakana. As you can see in mid lane right now, they're contesting around this. Taunt does land onto Headshot, but the focus is onto Kumbhakana, who eats a backfire to the face. Has to use every followed by the throwback to try and get out. Going to get chased down by Ionic though, and that ultimate coming out from Snoopy's going to be the death sentence, at least for the passive. Ionic's dropping low, but that shield brought a lot of time. Backfire doesn't connect thanks to the nice port coming out from Vulture there. Wubba's going to come in and need a bit of poke as well as Bullet is here, as his Headshot coming back in again. He's going to get taken out by a driving strike.
Snoopy just barely avoiding the boulder. Wubba and Snoopy very, very low. They have to try and find a way to stay alive. Snoopy with the jukes, but they're not good enough as you cannot juke the armored umbrella bullet. Gonna clear the path and literally clear the path to escape. Should be mid tower going down though. You've got plenty of damage here.
Well, it's going to take a little while for those minions to reach, so they've got to clear a full minion wave. They're actually going to try and backdoor this using Jeff Inlet and Sassy, so that definitely will go down now. I expect it to push the wave. The Bullet could have been able to deal with that one. He wouldn't bit off too much more than he could chew in that. 6 to 8 right now in terms of deaths. 6,000 experience, 3,500 gold in favor of Vicious and Delicious. But let's talk late game right now, Krat. I mean, in the later stages, we were discussing that it seems Torch were giving up a lot. Do they have the stronger late game?
If the mana builds right. All bruisers have to sort of find a way to traverse the gap between tankiness and doing damage. And if you don't do that, you're either completely ignorable or completely killable. But Vamana feels a little bit easier than most, so if Bullet builds right, gets fed enough, he could be very menacing in the late game. Aokwang has tons of damage potential. Apollo has great options. Yanis and Kumba just have so much peel and utility. On the other hand, though, they do have to deal with the healing from Wubba and the fantastic burst damage out of Snoopy. Well,
first mid camps of the game, both those mid camps actually going in favor of Torch Gaming there, so a small little climb back into the experience lead. But now there's a big rotation once again for Vulture, who's going to get hit by a taunt, even though he portaled at the same time, so he went through the portal but still turned back around. Has to use through space and time to escape certain death, one hit from it. And Headshot still hanging around here looking for an opportunity if he can find it, but still only level 13. He's currently behind Jeff Hindler, who's the current support player. He's not having the greatest game as Aokwang. He's really struggling to find anything in this game.
Well, on the right-hand side, you've got fairly big pressure on this tower. The rotations are coming out, but alone Aokwang is not going to be enough. He's going to be taunted and in a lot of trouble. I don't see any surviving.
CC?
With the... He's going
to live.
Yeah, great rotation, great blink over the wall from Defoe is going to be enough to keep Aokwang alive, but he's not going to be able to participate in this fight. Wubba is here, does have a snipe if he can find the right angle. Target seems to be Defoe with Wubba zoning off the rest of the team, but it's going to be hard to kill Akumba.
It is going to be hard to kill a combo, but it looks like Wubba might die. Aegis is buying him enough time though, but Big Baby does bring him down. Through space and time does not connect. Sorry, unstable vortex does not connect there. Bullet's still chasing, but all the while this is going on, there's two people split pushing left hand side, and that's a tier 2 tower for free left hand side after Apollo got dropped.
Yeah, I think that was just a sort of a rare mistake coming out of Vicious and Delicious to target Akumba, because it was a Hercules and Athena killing him. They just didn't really have any way to chunk through that health pool. Whereas seeing someone for the Raw would have probably worked better. Either way, miscommunication will lose them the player, but they pick up a tower on the left-hand side thanks to great communication. So all is not lost, and actually it's going to be a gold for you as well, as Vulcan and Nemesis are very good at killing birds.
Well, Vulture's going to be in the area. No Athena here, no Kumbhakarna. They're going to force a reset, which is good for now. But Ionic might try and turn this one around again. Not for now, though. He's going to actually clear it. Apollo's taken to the sky. He's going to look for Ionic. Pops out the shield. Doesn't actually get a heal off it. Taunt from Jeff Hindler. But that should be a disengage for now from these two teams. This is a 3v2. And nobody else is coming around. But Gold Fury has been started by one Glance.
On the left-hand side, Vulture seems a little bit far up. Or at least he would seem far up if he wasn't a Yanis, so probably not too much in trouble. Hercules, very aggressive and actually going to get punished by Ao Kwang. Lots of damage coming out, but he's only at 50% as he starts to heal up. The boulder will connect, do some good damage, but the Vulcan taking down headshot. That's going to really start the fight. Now Defoe in trouble, Super on the backside. Only is his turret as he's basically out of mana. Ionic getting low in the back, will dash out, and Bullet, he's just trying to step on people, but targeting a Hercules, he's not going to carve through that health pool.
Vicious and Delicious, no one has died on their team yet. Bullet's in a lot of trouble here, still trying to fight out of mana. They're going to get hit by Celestial Beam and get evaporated by Ionic. Only one Glad's here now, using the moves to try and get away, but going to be chased down by Ionic with that dash. The taunt will be out soon from Jeff Hindley, but he's out of mana. Good pull, but for Vulture, but the Earthbreaker denies him from getting to it. A clean sweep of 3 quick kills, well, delayed kills in favor of Vicious and Delicious, and that is going to be a goal fury for them as well, which will extend their gold lead to at least 7,500.
That was a really good portal, but it essentially sealed One Glance's death because he had to run straight there. So it was the only time an Earthbreaker has ever been easy. You know exactly where the Apollo player is going. There's no way for him to juke, because if he jukes, the portal will disappear. He had to run straight. It was an easy pull. Sasic nailed it, got the kill.
That's really rough. It was really rough, but it was a really good Earthbreaker as well.
Yeah, it was.
The only way to deny him from getting to that portal was the Earthbreaker, and he landed it perfectly. Wubba and Sasic going to try and contest these right camps, but Torch do get them 7-12 right now. Gold Fury, Fire Giant is now the one being contested with Sentry Wards. Kumbhakarna might win this trade against Hercules over the Sentry. Get denied Sasic. The Yawn is still strong.
The Yawn is still strong, but there's another Sentry, and he's not going to win the long battle. It's a war.
Not 2v1. It is a war. The Sentry Wards are a war. Ionic actually fighting 2v1 in, but Vulture took a lot of hope. Actually forced out the through space and time there to get away from that. But now Headshot comes in looking to try and do some damage back. But he's eating a lot of poke. Has to try and jump away as well. Going to use that portal that was left available for him. Only Kumbhakarna can stand strong for now. But here comes Bullet.
Yeah, Bullet's not really going to have any options to carve through Ionic there with the Retribution Shield buying some time. Athena teleports in. Vulcan just sort of chill on the left, will be able to defend that tower. Not too much damage on Jeff Hindler. Sasic's rotating over, and it shouldn't really result in anything in the mid lane. Snoopy, though, he's got a really good angle onto the Apollo. Will connect, half health, One Glance in trouble. That's a Soul Reaver? That's a Soul Reaver.
That was a Soul Reaver. It did proc and he did force him out. Will he rotate to mid and go for a gank? I doubt it, as everybody mid is full health. 3-man top from Jeff Hindler. Does connect. Snipe does not, however. Bully's still taking a lot of poke. Wicked Curse comes out. Going to actually use as much damage to get out as he can. But still, Ionic chases on with the dash. Looking for the kill. Finds Vulture. Going to go down and trade to One Glance as Defoe uses the epic uppercut to try and disengage this. But here comes Snoopy. Full health and all members of Touch very low.
Yeah, Snoopy with the help of wow, Jeff Hindler gonna be able to get a kill. Nice boulder there. Sasic picks one. Snoopy, the other. Mid tower likely will fall, but they could peel off to go for the Fire Giant, or maybe just take the tower and then do it. They've got plenty of damage to kill that objective. But no, it looks like they're gonna go for the safe route, take speed buff, because I think at this point, Vicious and Delicious can just straight up do the Fire Giant.
They are in a really good position to do it right now with how Vicious and Delicious have been playing. I think Touch, the thing is with Touch Gaming right now, we've seen them around in the Challenger scene for a long time. They were in SWC for a long time with Touch Gaming, and they're not a bad team. Overall, they keep learning from the mistakes and adapting to them. But right now, they know where the mistakes are made, so they're trying to avoid doing those mistakes, and in doing so, they're giving themselves up too much map objectivity. They're giving them too much control of the mid camps and things, which is putting them behind a little bit. But when they've actually fought, they've fought pretty well.
Yeah, they have. They just... You know, I think part of the problem... Let's take a look at the builds coming out from Vamana and Ao Kuang. I like Ao Kuang's build. You've got Pen Boots, Demonic Grip, so he's gonna carve through everyone. There's just no real protection on the enemy team, but he goes into a Witchblade, feels he needs defense. As on the left-hand side, actually, One Glance and Snoopy are fighting. One Glance gonna find the advantage, but Snoopy winning on cooldowns just can backfire away. There's a Witchblade on Vamana, and that aura, the auras don't stack. I feel like Vamana just doesn't have enough damage in his build right now. He's not really a threat.
Is there a need for... Oh, Snoopy does manage to find the solo kill right side, though Jeff Finland does get a nice sort of bullet, forcing out beads onto him, so he's going to have to back away. Meanwhile, mid lane, pressure was on from Wubba and Sasik. Sasik's actually going to continue zoning these two out for the time being, as the rest of the team try and take to the tier 2 tower. Kwong's having to deal with left-hand side split push, Snoopy boy, but now in mid, sorry, the right again, bullet does get hit by a taunt, followed by an ultimate. That's a dead bullet, and that's Ionic picking up another kill for himself, and now the pressure onto the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, Sassy's just gonna zone out. Snoopy over there hitting, I want to say his patented Magma Bomb ultimate combo, but he will run into a lot of trouble with Ao Kuang. Great beads. Vulture takes the head off with that decapitating snipe. Now Defoe gonna screen and should be able to allow his team to get out, but man, through space and time, that was beautiful aim.
Was good aim. They're going to be able to hold for now, but Fire Giant's available, and four members of the team still alive. They could easily do this, or they're going to try and get a pick as someone tries to come round. Well, Kumba's going to be the first one round the corner. He's going to meet death, more than likely. Good Yon coming out before the taunt. Buy him some time. Groggy Strike, make sure he doesn't get hit by that Earthbreaker, and now he's going to get rotated on by the rest of the team. Bit of a slow again. Once again, though, Torch still standing, still got all the Phoenixes online.
Jeff in the front line finds a nice taunt. 2 beads, and hey, that's worth. Nice pull onto Vulture. Aegis used as well. Boulder's gonna come out and force the Yenis player back to base. Snoopy's still dead, so you could see a Fire Giant, but probably just looking for another fight.
If there's another fight, because right now I think they were waiting for Snoopy to come back online before they did Fire Gen, so he could have the buff as well. But Bullet is here, along with Defoe and Headshot, 3 members of the team in a good position to defend this one. Sasik and Jet Finler on the front line. Will he be able to find a good baton? Only onto Bullet is the answer. Earthbreaker connects as well, but it is onto the tank, and he immediately disengages. Heals come out one more time from Ra. It's an extended period of time with this, Cret. It's taken a very long time for this game to progress, I feel. It feels like Vicious and Delicious are in control, but they're just taking a long time about it.
Yeah, they're moving a little bit slowly. I think they're just being careful because they know they're actually up against a fairly scary composition. I mean, if Ao Kuang ever gets the jump on you, I think it's a little bit like Scylla and Habois, right? It just takes one fight and Ao Kuang could kill everyone. So you have to take it carefully.
Very true indeed. Well, Fire Giant still stands. Gold Fury now back online once again. Some buffs still available for Vicious and Delicious in the jungle. Blue speed available. But it looks like they're going to focus onto this Fire Giant now. They're just clearing out sentries and starting the Fire Giant off. Bullet is in the area. He knows something is up. His team is not in position, though, to do anything about this. And the Onyx going to try and zone out Bullet. I expect attention will be turned onto Bullet now. And there it is. He actually forced the beats to stop the Earthbreaker. Going to go back in with Big Baby and try and disengage. But he's taking a lot of poke. And he's going to go down before he can do anything in that Big Baby form. Now the rest of the team is here through space and time. Hits Wubba, but he's in the heal. And on the backside, One Glance, the team's very split from Torch. They're going to take a lot of poke. They're ready to fight a Vicious and Delicious, and Jeff Hindler's going in looking for a taunt.
Yeah, Wubba's next heal should take him to full, but it's Jeff finding a taunt onto Vulture, and that should be a kill. Beautiful play with the knockbacks. He can't Aegis out of the air, and it wasn't even up, so Vulture going down. Fire Giant should be free with Snoopy's turret just to help burn it down, and that turret's can be hitting for just massive amounts of damage.
Is all coming out from Snoopy. Can he find anything? No, he cannot. Defoe actually has to use the throwback to try and get away. Yannick was on zoning duty with him. Fire Giant goes in favour of Vicious and Delicious. 27 minutes in, and they're now going to look to group up right-hand side and try and take down this Phoenix, I so suspect.
Well, on the right-hand side, grouping up as 5 members is Vicious and Delicious. They have the Fire Giant. They're looking for the Phoenix, and will be clearing out the creep live. Looks like Jeff Hindley's going to be taking the Phoenix. Gonna find Bullet again. Pull doesn't connect, but the Divine Judgment does, and he will likely die to Ionic there. Slowed down, taken out. Gonna knock up, and Ionic could be in trouble, but it's just not enough damage coming out from Alquang. He's not able to position properly. One glance hit with the Soul Reaver, the Slice and Dice, and the auto attack from Ionic will secure the kill. And Vulture, he's trying to do something, but he's gonna get pushed away by Sasek. The Boulder will not connect, but the Snipe will wobba.
And now Defoe is against 5 members of the team. Actually gets a good yawn off onto 4 of them, but only delaying the inevitable now is the rest of the team going to rotate to mid lane. Jeff going to attack up the middle Phoenix now. Wubba's there to give him the heals as well. Headshot's going to go back in, looking for some damage. Gets a good slow onto Snoopy, but that's it. Going to get hit by an Earthbreaker. Has to jump away using the illusion. Otherwise he's going to get driving striked immediately. Vicious and Delicious looking for the clean sweep of Phoenix is here.
Yeah, they're looking for it. We'll be going on to the left Phoenix, and likely are going to get it, as there's really just Defoe to screen. Alquang can't get in. He knows he will die, as he needs to really find people by himself and go for the 1v1. Defoe is dead, falling asleep on the job. Snoopy gets the kill. And now, Vicious and Delicious, they've been playing safe all game. They're going to keep doing it. Not going to go for the throne, but instead will just back off, wait for the minion pressure, and they'll get the kill, get the win that way.
Well, Gold Fury is available, so they're just going to do that on the way back to base. They will have plenty of gold in their inventory to go back and buy. Snoopy's sat on 1,500 right now. Hercules, 3,600 gold he's sat on there. Ionic in the jungle, 2,000 gold, all sat on that. So they'll go back and spend and then push for the win, more than likely. But can Torch hold firm? 3 Phoenixes down. We've seen it done before on rare occasions, but it has been done.
Well, on the right-hand side, there is a red buff available, which is actually a really important objective at this point in the game. If we take a look at a player like Snoopy, who is his Roger Snoopy, he's got 600 magic power. Picking up a red buff is going to give him an extra 120. So it's very important right now to secure that for your team, not let the enemy mage have it. And Snoopy, he's going to be just chilling and waiting for the red buff.
Waiting. Ionic doing the speed buff at the moment, and the rest of Torch though trying to just farm where they can for the time being, defending against these fire minions. They're not giving up hope, which is good to see that they're going to try and stay in here, but it's going to be a very difficult task for them once this whole 5-man army appears on their doorstep with the help of these fire minions in every single lane. And this is exactly what Vicious and Delicious is going to do. They're going to group on mid, and it looks like Defoe's going to get caught out of position.
Yeah, Defoe in a lot of trouble, is going to be able to buy some time, but with the Divine Judgment coming out, Ionic giving chase, and potentially will get the kill with the crits. Needs just 1 to 2 more swings. Retribution Shield not quite going to find it. Double dashing again. There it is. And now Ionic needs to find a way out, but he will get killed by 1 glance. The Titan has started to take some damage. The Sassing is interrupted out of his dash, but the Vulcan ult will connect, and 1 glance is down to just 200 health. And now it's going to be Headshot trying to escape. The backfire finds the kill. Bullet very low. Will not be able to get out as Sassing rolls over him with that driving strike. Apollo is going to land, finds a knockback onto 2, but there's so many fire minions that they alone likely would be able to kill the Apollo player. The Titan has been pulled, and it looks like it will go down with Vicious and Delicious securing their place in the semifinals.
The semi-finals, indeed, they will be up against a Gypsy Crew. Gypsy Crew beat a Blacklisted. Blacklisted beat a Complexity. So that upper bracket Gypsy Crew must be a pretty good team to be seeing them in the semi-finals. They'll be facing off against Vicious and Delicious, Cog and Friends, as we like to call them sometimes as well. In the lower half of the bracket, though, it will be 5 Angry Men, the Slayers of Dignitas this week, up against the Fat Chunks Assemble. We'll be right back, probably with the Fat Chunks game in the next couple of moments.
With Gypsy and Vicious.
Oh, we're saying with Gypsy. We're going Gypsy and Vicious Delicious. So we'll see that game on your screen shortly, guys. We'll be right back.